Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to today's Monday, May 19th, 2025 Walpole Media Corporation broadcast of your defending Division II state champion Walpole High softball team as they host the Natick High Redhawks in the Bay State Conference Interdivision game from the South Walpole Community Athletic Fields Complex. My name is Rick Brown, your voice of Walpole High Sports. I'll be handling the play-by-play action while Nick Piccarilli will be doing the filming. Today is Senior Day, and as you can see, the seniors are being honored while we speak right now. They're celebrating 4 years of Walpole pride for this year's 6 seniors. Co-captains Briella Clinton, Charlotte Stasinski, Nora Broderick, and Carolyn Duran, along with Sydney Bissonnet and Carolyn Daly. Walpole Media Corporation and I would like to thank you for 4 years of intensity, success, and Walpole High's first state softball championship, and wish you all success in your future endeavors. During their years as Timberwolves, this team has won 67 of 77 games for an 87% winning streak. That included a school record 22 consecutive victories between 2024 and 2025. Walpole will be looking to rebound from a disappointing 5-3 loss to King Philip Regional last Friday that snapped an 8-game winning streak. The Timberwolves are first in the Herget Division at 9-1, 11-4 overall, 9th in the Boston Globe Top 20, and 7th in the latest MIAA Division II power rankings as the regular season winds down. With a 5-2 home record, the Orange and Blue is outscoring their opponents by a 7-2 average. After starting the campaign by rolling past Braintree 11-0, following that up with a 15-5 rout of Framingham, the T-Wolves ran into a few bumps in the road, losing to Lincoln Sudbury Regional, Needham, and Dighton Rehoboth Regional around a 12-1 romp over Weymouth. The Orange and Blue rebounded with impressive victories against Franklin 4-0, Oliver Ames 2-1, Wellesley 7-0, Brookline 16-zip, Newton North 6-2, Weymouth 2-0, Braintree 20-4, and Milton 11-3 before the KP setback. Natick brings a 2-7, 4-10 record into the game, standing in 4th place in the Carey Division. The Redhawks are 2-4 on the road and are now being outscored 11-7. Starting out the season with wins over Grafton 19-6 and Brookline 12-2, the Red and Blue then dropped 8 straight to Medfield, Newton North, Wellesley, Bedford, Acton, Boxborough, Milton, Braintree, and Needham, before again topping Grafton 5-2. A victory against Needham 11-10 was sandwiched between setbacks to Framingham and Newton North. Going back to 2015, Walpole has won 11 of the 12 games against Natick, outscoring them 129-46, with the only setback coming in the COVID-restricted year of 2021. While we've got the chance, anyone interested in providing play-by-play or color commentary for any Walpole High sports should contact Walpole Media Corporation Executive Director Tamara Green at 508-668-7795 or by emailing her at tgreen@walpolemedia.tv. You don't need to have any experience. You will not be on camera. It'll just be your voice that people hear. If you're a parent, sibling, grandparent, aunt, uncle, cousin, nephew, niece, neighbor, friend, anybody can do this job. If I can do it, anybody else can do it. So give Tamara Green a call at 508-6695 or email her at tgreen@walpolemedia.tv. We'll go around defensively for your Timberwolves at first base, Briella Clinton. Grace Todd is at second. The shortstop is Sienna Cruiser, and Nora Broderick was holding down the hot corner at third base. In left field will be Carolyn Daly, center field, Carolyn Duran, and Sydney Bissonnet is in right field. Your battery mates are pitcher Charlotte Stasinski, the catcher is Abby Riley. First pitch of the ball game is a ball up high to Juliet Salvi. Swing and a miss, strike one, 1-1. 2 balls and a strike to Salvi. She takes 3 balls and 1 strike. Grounded to Clinton, to Dodd, and it will be ruled an error, I think. Brings up the right fielder, Sophie Conroy. Up high a ball. Strike call, 1-1. Szynski looks in for the 1-1 sign. Here's the pitch. It's a ball, 2 balls and a strike. Charlotte with the long sleeve shirt on her right arm, or pitching arm, makes the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Szynski records her first strikeout of the game. And it brings up the shortstop, Katie McMahon. Strike called. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Szynski quickly ahead on the count. 2 strikes. Fouled off. The count remains 0-2. Outside a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery on its way. Line into right field, a base hit. Runners on first and second with 1 out for Natick here in the top of the first inning. It brings up the center fielder, Liesel Niedermeyer. She takes a ball up high. Line shot into center field, a base hit. This will play to run. Throw comes in. Going home, got her. So they got 1. So 1 run comes in on that. But center field, that will go 8 to 4 to 2 for the putout on that play. As McMahon tried to score on the play. And it brings up the first baseman, Natalie Hall. Natick on top, 1-0 ball. Strike on that pitch, 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Stasinski gets out of the inning without any more damage, but Natick did come up with a run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. So after half an inning of play, the score is Natick 1, Walpole nothing. Bunt fouled. As Riley fouls it off, falls behind, 1 strike. Ball down low, 1-1. Bunt pops it foul behind the Natick bench. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The 1-2 delivery popped up to the infield. Shortstop is able to make the play on it. 1 down for Walpole. Brings up Walpole's shortstop, Sienna Cruiser. Ground ball to second. Thrown over to first. 2 down. First ball hitting for Cruiser. Brings up the left fielder, Carolyn Daly. Ball 1. There's a line shot. That's going to drop in. Yes, off the glove of the right fielder. And Carolyn cruises into second base. Fortunately, that will be an error. So with 2 outs, Walpole gets a runner in scoring position, and it brings up the cleanup hitter, Briella Clinton. Line drive, ground ball to second, over to first, and the side is retired. For Walpole, they had no runs, no hits. There was an error and 1 left on base. We've played 1 inning of play. The score is Natick 1, Walpole nothing. First pitch is a ball to Russell. The 1-0 pitch on its way. Fouled off behind the Natick bench, 1-1. Ball down low, 2 balls and a strike. Fouled back, evens the count at 22. Ground Ground ball foul down the first baseline. Count remains 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Charlotte took something off that and picked up her second strikeout of the game. Her third strikeout of the game. Brings up the second baseman, Bridget Chick. She takes a ball down low. Swing on and a miss, 1-1. Stasinski looks in for the sign, the windup, and the pitch up high and away. 2 balls and a strike. A little late on that swing. Evens the count at 2-2. Fouled off towards the Natick bench. Count remains 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Charlotte. And it brings up the left fielder, Grayson O'Hara. Takes a ball down low. Strike, 1-1. Strike 2 called at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. 2 strikes and 1 ball. Up high. 2-2. The 2-2 delivery. Fouled again towards the Natick bench. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stasinski just blew that one right by her. That's 5 strikeouts for Stasinski. 3 up, 3 down in the second inning for Natick. After an inning and a half, the score is the Red Hawks 1, the Timberwolves 0. Waiting for that first pitch. Russell goes into the motion. Here's the pitch. Up high, a ball. Strike called. The wind's starting to pick up here in the field. It's blowing in from left field. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 delivery on its way. Strike call, 22. Ground ball right back to the mound. Russell handles it, throws over to first. 1 down. Brings up the pitcher, Charlotte Stasinski. Russell looks in for the sign, into the motion. Flied up to right field. The wind carrying it. Oh, geez. Just the last second, that ball started to drift away. But Conroy made a nice grab there. 2 down, and it brings up the right fielder, Sidney Bissonnet. Another pop up to the infield. That's going to be trouble. That's going to drop. It does. The wind playing games with that ball there. Walpole picks up their first hit of the game, and it brings up the third baseman, Nora Broderick. Fouled it back behind the plate. 1 strike. Up high, a ball and a strike. Ball 2. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Fouled at the plate. Evens the count at 22. A 2-2 pitch to Broderick. Foul back behind the plate. Out of play. Once again, Russell will serve up a 2-2 delivery. Ball just outside. Full count. The payoff delivery on its way. Ball 4. And Walpole gets 2 runners on base. And it brings up center fielder Carolyn Duran. Ball outside. Ball 2. Duran ahead on the count, 2 balls, no strikes. All 3 down in the dirt. Batters count here 3-0. We'll see if Duran gets the green light, or will she be taking all the way? She does take a strike. 3 balls and a strike. Fouled back, out of play. Full count. Payoff delivery on its way from Russell. Line drive into center field, a base hit, 1 run's in. They're waving on the second run. Broderick's going to come in with the second run, and Duran goes in standing up to second base for a 2-base hit. And Walpole takes the lead 2-1. on a two-base, two-run scoring double by center fielder Carolyn Duran. Brings up the top of the order, Abby Riley. Now batting from the right side of the plate. Swing and a miss, strike one. Ball 1-1. The 1-1 delivery popped up down the third base line and put away by the shortstop for the third out of the inning. But Walpole comes up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, the score is Walpole 2, Natick 1. Ball inside. Swing and fouled off. That caught the catcher on the foot. She's going to walk it off here. Riley getting a minute to get that foot okay. She's all right. And we will resume play again. One and one, the count to Homer. Ball, 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Swung on and missed. Full count. Stasinski's payoff pitch on its way. Fouled behind the Natick bench. Count remains full. Fouled again. Towards the Natick bench. The 3-2 pitch. Ball outside. Ball 4. The first walk allowed by Stasinski, and it brings up the top of the order, Juliet Salvi. She reached on an error and scored the Natick run. Takes a ball. Grounded to shot. Cruiser to second, just did get it there in time. Six to 4 if you're scoring. And with 1 out, it brings up the right fielder, Sophie Conroy. She struck out swinging her first trip. Ball up high. Swing and a miss. 1-1. One pitch. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Foul back out of play. Evens the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stasinski put a little bit something extra on that one. Picks up her 6th strikeout. And it brings up the shortstop, Kate McMahon. She singled her first time up, driving in the run. Ground ball again into left field for a base hit. 2 for 2 for the Natick second base shortstop. Runners on first and second for the red and blue. And it brings up the center fielder, Liesel Niedermeyer. She singled to center field her first trip. She takes a ball. Swing and miss. 1-1. Pops it up down the third baseline, foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Red Hawk shortstop. I'm sorry, the Red Hawk center fielder. Ball 2-2. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning here in Walpole. Ground ball into right field. Throw to the plate. They have run a rundown. Got her. 9-2. The base hit there. Heads up play by Abby Riley, chasing her down for the out. Wind is definitely picking up, and it's blowing across the third baseline, heading out to right field. So balls hit out to right field are going to be tricky. To the right side of the infield. Ball 1. Ball 2, high and away. Russell's 2-0 delivery. Up high, 3-0. Strike call. 3 balls and a strike. Up high, ball 4. The second walk allowed by Caitlin Russell. She is yet to strike out a batter, so Walpole gets the leadoff man on base for the first time. Brings up Carolyn Daly. She takes a strike. Grounded to third, to second for 1. Back to first, no play at first. Fielder's choice. That goes 5-4 on the putout. Brings up the first baseman, Briella Clinton. She grounded to second her first time up. Ball 1. Foul off, just foul First baseman Natalie Hall made a nice try on it, but just couldn't get there in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball up high and away. 2 balls and a strike. Foul back behind the plate. Evens the count at 2-2. Russell looks in for the sign, then goes into the motion, and the pitch fouled off behind the first base side. Count remains 2-2. The 2-2 delivery on its way to Briella. Line drive right at the shortstop. 2 down. And it brings up cleanup hitter, the number 5 hitter, Grace Todd. Grace grounded back to the mound her first time up. Takes a strike. Swing and a miss, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Line drive, got ground ball in the left field, a base hit. Runners for first and second for the Timberwolves. And it brings up pitcher Charlotte Stasinski. She flied out to right her first trip. Strike called. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Foul back behind the plate. Evens the count at 2-2. Ground ball into center field, a base hit. This will bring in 1 run. Stasinski helps her own cause with a ground single up the middle. Walpole takes a 3-1 lead. And it brings up the right fielder, Sydney Bissonnet. She singled into right her first time up. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ground ball to shot. Long throw to first. Nice scoop. Nice pickup out of the dirt by Hall for the out. But Walpole comes up with another run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 left on base. Leading off the 4th inning for Natick is the first baseman, Natalie Hall. She takes a strike. Fouls it back out of play, 0-2. Strike 3 called. Charlotte picks up her first called strike 3, her 7th K of the game. And it brings up the pitcher, Caitlin Russell. She was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. Ball 2 down low. Three and 0 the count. The first 3-0 count of the game for Stasinski. She misses. Ball 4. 4-ball walk for Russell. The second freebie allowed by Stasinski. And it brings up the second baseman, Bridget Chick. Chick fanned her first trip. There's a ball. Throw down to first. They almost got the runner. Strike called, 1-1. Fouled it back. A ball and 2 strikes. Ball in the dirt, gets away from everybody, and the runner goes down to second. 2-2. Runner in scoring position for Natick. Ball gets away, and she goes down to third. That's full count to Chick. The runner on third now for the Red Hawks. The infield drawn in. Takes the ball. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks by Stasinski. You don't see that very often. I think the cold weather and the wind are having something to do with the pitches today. Ball 1 to O'Hara. Fouled it back over to the Natick bench. 1-1. Ball outside. 2 balls and a strike. Strike called. Chick advances to second base. Catches indifference. Strike 3 called at the knees. Strikeout number 8 for Stasinski. 2 runners in scoring position, however, for Natick. And it brings up the number 9 hitter, the designated player, Abby Homer. She walked her first trip, takes a strike on the first pitch. Fouls it back, 0-2. Stasinski quickly jumps ahead on the count. Ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch fouls it back. The count remains 1-2. Charlotte looks in for the sign. Her 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. She gets out of the jam. For Walpole in the bottom of the 4th inning, it will be the third baseman, Nora Broderick. She walked her first trip. Swings and fouls it at the plate. Followed by Carolyn Duran, then the top of the order with Abby Riley. Ball, 1-1. Coming down, foul over there, the Walpole Media Corporation broadcast team. One and two the count to the Walpole third baseman. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The first strikeout of the game for Caitlin Russell. Brings up the center fielder, Carolyn Duran, who had a full count single to center field her first trip. Takes a strike. Ball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Russell. Ball 2. The 2-1 delivery on its way. Way high, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Grounded into right field, a base hit. Broderick comes through, Duran comes through again. She had the 2-run single in the second inning. Grounds that one into right field. Brings up the top of the order, Abby Riley. Abby has popped a shot twice. Ball went up high, the throw down, safe. Stolen base by Duran. Walpole with a runner in scoring position. Bunt, it's a beauty. Foul. One the count. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Grounded into left field, a base hit. The runners will hold at the corners. And heads up base running by Abby Riley as she hustles down to second on the throw-in. So 2 runners in scoring position for Walpole with 1 out, and it brings up shortstop Sienna Cruiser. Sienna walked her last time up. Drops down a bunt, it's a beauty. And they go and make any play. Oh, big mistake, an infield hit for Cruiser. Brings in the next run, the 4th run for Walpole as Russell fielded the ball, looked to first, then looked home, and then looked back to first, and it was too late to do anything. So it goes as an infield hit for Cruiser. Brings up the left fielder, Carolyn Daly. Runners on first and third at the corners for Walpole, a strike called. And Cruiser cruises down to second. 2 runners in scoring position for Walpole with 1 out here. Ground ball to shot. They go to first. They get the out, but a run will score. And Walpole goes up now 5-1. Cruiser standing at third, brings up cleanup hitter Briella Clinton. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ball. 1-1. Line drive into right field, a base hit. This will bring in another run. Clinton comes through with an RBI single, making it 6-1 Walpole here in the 4th. Brings up second baseman Grace Todd. Grace had a base hit, an RBI hit the last time up. I think it was a discussion on the mound with the Natick infield. Ball 1. Up high, 2-0. Count to Walpole's second baseman. Line drive, that's going to drop in for a base hit. Todd is going in, they hold her at third base. Grace comes up big time. Knocks in the 4th run of the inning, 7th run of the game for Walpole, as they're starting to pull away now, 7-1. First pitch to Szynski, grounds at the third, over to first. Got him in time. But Walpole comes up with 4 runs. They had 1, 2, 3, 5 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We've played 4 innings here from the South Walpole Athletic Complex, and Walpole leads 7-1. Salvi reached on an error to open the game and scored the only run so far for the Redhawks. She takes a strike. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Fouls off at the plate. Count remains 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. K number 10 for Szynski. Brings up Conroy, who has got 2 of those Ks. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Up high, a ball. 1-1 the count. Swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3. Conroy goes down for the 3rd time, swinging. And it brings up the shortstop, Katie McMahon. She singled the first, she's 2 for 2. 2 singles, takes a strike for the first pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Charlotte would like to get her out this time. The 2-strike delivery, outside a ball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. As for the 2nd time, Szynski strikes out the side. Sydney has a single to right and a ground out to short. Her 2 trips to the plate. There's a long shot. That's going to be distance. Rounds first, going for second. This may take all 4. Sydney moving around, hustle, she's got him. Easy, a standing up home run for Sydney Bissonnet. What a croak. Walpole takes an 8-1 lead. The wind carried that, although it was well stroked. And it just kept traveling out there to right field. And it brings up 3rd baseman Nora Broderick. Nora with a walk and a strikeout and a run scored. Line drive, that's gonna get past her. This is rolling too. Nora, good speed, round and second, going to 3rd. And she will stand up at 3rd base. Nora Broderick with a 3-base hit to right field also. Center field. And brings up center fielder Carolyn Duran. Nobody out. 2 pitches, a home run and a triple so far in this inning for Walpole. Strike called. Ball up high, 1-1. Ground ball, base hit into right field. That'll bring in Broderick. There's 3 batters, 3 base hits for Walpole. And it's now 9-1 here in the 5th inning. Lead of Abby Riley coming to the plate. 1 for 3 with a run scored last inning. Pops it up. This will go out of play behind the Natick bench. Strike 1. 3 batters for Walpole, 3 hits for the Timberwolves. A home run by Nora Broderick, a home run by Sydney Bissonnet, a triple by Nora Broderick, and a base hit by Carolyn Duran. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. Pops it up to the infield. First baseman calling for it. And it falls foul. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled back again. Another infield pop-up down the first base line, and it falls harmlessly. Abby hanging tough there. This will be the 8th pitch of this at-bat for Riley. Ground ball foul down the third base line. The 2-2 delivery on its way. Up high, ball 3. Full count. Payoff delivery from Russell. Foul down the left field line. This will be the 10th pitch of this at-bat for Abby Riley. Really making Caitlin Russell work out there on the mound. Again, she pops it up. This one's to the infield. Russell calling for it. The catcher calling for it and makes the catch. That was a tough one. The wind was carrying that around all over the place. So one down for Walpole, and it brings up shortstop Sienna Cruiser. And it looks like Natick is going to change pitchers and bring on I don't know who this pitcher is. They didn't have her on the roster. First batter to face the new pitcher is Sienna Cruiser. Sienna is 1 for 2 officially with a walk. No, it's not Sienna at all. It is Layla Casey. She takes 2 balls. Ball 3. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Casey. One of 2 freshmen on the Walpole team, along with Adriana Torres. And it brings up Carolyn Daly, ball 1. Runners on first and second for the Timberwolves. 1 out here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Ball 2. Ball 3. Ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Brings up first baseman Briella Clinton. Briella 1 for 3 with a run scored. She singled to right her last time up. Strike call. Line drive to center field. Center field is there, makes the catch. 1 run will come in, and the runners will advance to second and third. To first and third at the corners, I'm sorry. Makes it 10-1. If they can get another run here, that will end this game on a slaughter rule. And looks like they're calling it here. I guess 2 runs came in then. Anyway, that will end it. Walpole gets the victory, 11-1. In the 5th inning, they had 4 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. So your final totals here for Walpole. They have 11 runs on 12 hits. They made 1 error and they left 6 on base. For Natick, they had a run on 4 hits. They had 1 error and they left 5 on base. Charlotte Stasinski goes the distance for Walpole, striking out 12, walking 3. She threw 94 pitches, 49 for strikes. lot of extra base hits for the Timberwolves today. Carolyn Duran had a double. Let's see. Grace Todd and Sydney Bissonnet both had triple. Nora Broderick had triples, and Sydney Bissonnet had a home run for the Victors. So this improves Walpole to 12-4. Natick drops to 4-11. We would like to thank you for watching this Walpole Media Corporation broadcast of Walpole High School varsity softball action. Once again, your final score from South Walpole: the Timberwolves 11, Natick 1.